Hey, happy Tuesday. Happy book review day. Today's book is Absolution by Jeff VanderMeer. I follow Jeff on Facebook and I find him to be hilarious. He does all kinds of interesting things and often shares his writing process as he's working on things. So this is a book I've been reading about him writing for a little while now. And it was really exciting to kind of see some of those ideas come to life and then read how they resolved here. So if you don't know VanderMeer's work, I think the New York Times dubbed him the weird Thoreau. He does write about kind of environmental themes and weird science and kind of where science and nature kind of collide. Probably his most famous book, I guess, is Annihilation, which was turned into a movie with Natalie Portman, which there's lots of debate about whether it was a good movie or not, or whether it was a great adaptation of the book. But that's probably the one most people know. That's part of the Southern Reach series, which really was three books, which was Annihilation, Authority, and Acceptance. And each of them look at different journeys into this part of essentially southern Florida called the Area X. This strange thing has happened there, and then they send biologists to try to get an understanding of what was going on or what's happening there. And weird things happen. There's these interesting mutations of animals, and um, anyway, Absolution is the fourth book in that series, but it's a prequel. And I don't know that it was something that people were expecting, but a lot of people are very excited about it. Um, I have read all the books and I enjoy them. I don't have the memory that some people do for those books where they're like, oh, this is this little Easter egg there. So I think I'm fairly qualified to say you can read Absolution without reading the other books and it would be fine. You would probably enjoy it. It essentially is so where this little bookmark is, this much of the book is written really from old Jim's perspective. And it's essentially um, bef- right at like kind of the formation of Area X, and then just up into just after, I guess it happens, and then the last part of it is written from a perspective of Lowry, and that is really the first expedition into Area X, and a year and a half after, or something like that, and that's the section that most people are either really enthusiastic about or confused by or um, complaining about. So the first part reads like a pretty standard story. I mean, it's classified as horror. I don't know. Things don't typically scare me, so it's interesting. Like if you imagine this kind of alien presence interacting with nature and our world, some of the strange things that would come out of that might be horrific, and I'm sure if you encountered them in person they would be, but in words I can imagine it and enjoy it. And so old Jim is having these strange experiences and kind of doing his best to document them, and he's also trying to find a missing daughter, and so it is kind of a mystery, I guess, in a way. And he kind of operates like a detective, piecing these things together, and it's very enjoyable. I mean, everybody I've read the reviews for have said this part is great. And then the last part, Lowry is a profanity laden, drug-addled character who is goes into Area X and is forever changed. And there's I love experimentation in books, so this is for me. This book I thoroughly enjoyed start to finish. In fact, my favorite Vandermeer book is called Dead Astronauts, and I think that's probably one of the stranger things he's written. But it's super um, what's the word I want? Creative, innovative, original, experimental. I like that in reading. I like something that challenged me, that shows me something that I haven't seen before, and it literally is novel. And for me, Dead Astronauts is literally novel. It is different from other books I've read. And I would say Absolution does that as well. I think anybody who is hoping that, this prequel would give concrete answers about Area X and some of the mysteries throughout the Southern Reach series um, doesn't know Vandermeer well enough to, like, why would you expect that? There are answers in there, but there's more questions raised. And I think anytime there's an anomaly, it is very realistic. You're not going to have all the answers. I mean, I think about now and just like, we have these oceans around us and we don't know everything about them either. And yet they've been there for as long as humans have been around. So there's always room for more mysteries, and nature is full of those. So, if you're looking for a hard and fast answer to what happened and who is this and why did this happen, and those like it's not a series of those. You can draw your own conclusions from the work that old Jim does and that Lowry explores and reports to you. And I think those are very satisfying. As a reader, I felt my time was well used. I felt like it helped me make those connections, and I enjoyed it. If you are put off by cursing, the Lowry section definitely is not for you. But realistically, like, who's reading adult fiction and offended by language? I mean, maybe there are people, but anyway, if you like VanderMeer's work, I would definitely read Absolution. If you really like the Southern Reach, I would recommend it as well. And if you're just looking for something different, um, that is, walks that line of kind of horror and mystery, again, Absolution, Jeff Vandermeer. And if you order through the Midtown Reader, which is in Tallahassee, which is where Vandermeer is based, um, he'll sign it for you. And if you were one of the ones who ordered soon enough, you got like this original postcard and stuff. Like, they always do something fun down there, and they're a cool bookstore to work with. So, anyway, what are you reading?